Welcome back, traders. Today we're looking at an update on Bitcoin as well as the Bitcoin miners that I like to cover. You know, my favorites, Mara, BitDigital, and Bitfarms. And just adjust those the way I want to see them. All right, so Bitcoin, you can see we went off of this distribution zone up here between 30,000 and 29,000 for quite a while, and we sold off quite dramatically. Now we're down here in this area, forming somewhat of a new base, but also maybe a bear flag because there's not a lot of support here. You can see we sliced right through all the support in the 27 to $26,000 range, and now we're hovering right at the door of the 25s. And we actually dipped down to the bottom of my box here at 25,355 here, well, a little lower than that actually, 25,300 something. We went right up to the bottom of it, which I believe I drew the box before that happened, but I can't remember. I'd have to go back through my recordings. Okay, it almost went to the bottom, not quite. This is the daily candle, by the way. And we're sort of creating this base here. You can see all these wicks at the bottom. That's a bit bullish, actually, with all this price action pushing up as sellers try to sell off. They're being bought up by the bulls here. And you can see it on pretty much every single candle. Today's candle is super flat, unlike the previous few candles that have some long wicks to look at. But if we look back into the history here, there's not a lot of support at our current zone. We're right on this box where there's somewhat weak-ish support. At least recently, it's pretty weak. The next support after that is going to be all the way down in this area here, actually, been in the 23s to 22.6, 22.5. If it breaks below that, we're going sub 20. I mean, there's some support at no, yeah, we're going sub 20 likely. If it does not stop in this box here, we're gonna revisit 19, possibly reach this pretty strong area of support down here in the 17s if this 22 to 21 can't hold. But we still have to get through this area here first. We still have to break down below 25,300 first before we visit the 22s and the 21s. So hope is not lost yet. We are currently following a bit of this path here that I'd drawn a few days ago. Why is my mouse stopping? Let's see here. We go on the 2 hour. It's going on. If we go on the 2 hour, you can see it just hit here and just stayed flat on it. Came down to the bottom, shot back to the top, and now it's just glued to this 26 again. That's sort of an area we're gonna play around with for a bit. I still think we're probably gonna fluctuate between 25.3 and 26 for a bit before either making a move down, confirming this as a bear flag, or move our way back up into this chop zone here between 27 and 26. Let's look at what happened with the miners today's restore connection. As you can see with Mara, it's pretty dramatic, this drop off. It went a bit soft at first, and then around August 9th, it just got real dramatic and started coming down really hard, really fast. Let me get that back where it belongs. Down here, again, we're still looking like we're headed for 1050, where we will encounter a little bit of support before getting into this box down here in the 10 and sub 10 level. I don't necessarily think Mara's going to go below this support area here. There is a lot there. But if it does, it'll probably be the same way Bitcoin did, where it just sliced through it like it wasn't there. As you can see right here, there's quite a lot of support in this area. It just went right past it. If Mara goes through this, I assume it'll be very similar to that sort of move. Beyond that, this again could be a bear flag right here, signaling further downside, or this could be an accumulation zone where Mara will shoot back up. The only way we will know that it's done that is if it gets back into the 13, above 13, stays above 13, and goes beyond, up and beyond that. So that's what we're looking at today. The cup and handle still in play. We're almost getting to the bottom of it, where that handle will be, uh, you know, disqualified. All right, let's move on to BitDigital. BitDigital was pretty brutal today, as you can see though with Mara. Back to Mara for a second. With Mara, it was Down just a little bit today with Bit Digital. It was down like 5% or something today. Let's see, it was down 4.72% today, a lot more than Mara was. I still think that there's not a lot for Bit Digital to move through before getting down here to the sub $2 range. If I don't see a reversal pretty soon in Bit Digital going back up above, two and above $3. I'm pretty convinced that we're going sub $2. There might be some resistance at two right here. That'd be a pretty big psychological level. And if we do break two, if we go below $2, I expect a pretty violent move down into this box, maybe even down to the 120 area if it breaks that, because that's just going to be such a psychological level for traders. And it's just going to follow our big red arrow here. Let's see on the lower time frames. We're in a bit of a sideways move right now. You can see it's following this channel still. It kind of got glued to the bottom of it. It's going to stay there. It's probably going to bounce up at least to the top of this channel temporarily before moving back down again. Just like any good downward move, it's going to back test a little before going further. Same with an upward move, back test before the bounce. So this is a back test before the drop. That's what we're probably looking at right now. And then you've got Bit Farms. Bit Farms, I still think it's probably going to retest this box right here at 120. I feel pretty confident in that assumption, but it is our best performing miner today, at least the ones that I look at personally, with only 0.79% down, and it just slightly edging out Mara for that title today. Again, the moves are very dramatic down. We got into that buy zone at 120, quickly ejected out of it. Now we're just sort of going sideways. I think we'll slowly grind back down to this level. I'm thinking this, given how much, again, support is here at this level, that it's going to test it probably one more time before bouncing off. So it's going to be a pretty slow grind down there before moving off again. And again, if it does slice through this support here at the 110 level, it'll be a pretty dramatic move down under $1. Now, we are beneath this green trend line here, and now that we're beneath it, we may back test back to the top of it before being rejected there again. So that is a point to watch out for before getting back into this box in the 145 to 150 range. We could back test this trend and then reject off of it back down to the 120. So we could hit this green line first before back down into this yellow box. That's sort of the update today. There are some other things I'd like to talk about as well, but price action has just been so nuts on some of these miners that I feel like I need to talk about them every day. Especially with Bit Digital today. It was just so far down, just almost 5%. Actually was 5% at one point, I believe, today. And I think even in after hours, it's not doing a whole lot better. This, of course, is all anchored to Bitcoin and how Bitcoin is doing so badly today. Look at the daily. On the daily, we're down to what? On the RSI, we're down to 20. 30 is considered oversold. We're at 21 right now. We went as low as almost, 19.2. So that's pretty intense. On the 1 hour of Bit Digital, we're pretty bad. Let's see what we are on the day. On the daily, we're just getting into oversold territory here at 24. On that, on Mara, we're just getting into oversold territory. Bit Farms, what are we doing? We're not even in oversold territory. We never got there on Bit Farms. Interesting. Interesting. Bit Farms is a pretty strong one from what I'm looking at here. Anyways, that's the update today on Bitcoin and the three Bitcoin miners that I prefer. Price action isn't looking great. Aside from Bit Farms, it's looking okay. It's showing the best relative strength of its peers right now. But I'm expecting further downside back into the buy zones for Bit Farms, into new buy zones for Bit Digital and Mara. And I just continue to dollar cost average down as the price goes down, with expectations of future price growth as we go into the halving. So go ahead and take a look at these charts, see if you see anything different than what I see. Comment if I missed anything. Like, subscribe, and have a profitable day.